Hey everybody, it's time for a Golden Age comic review. Today we're looking at Big Shot Comics number 50, the home of the Face and Skyman. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Big Shot Comics was an anthology comics during the... Well, this particular issue was published during in October of 1944, but this was a long-running anthology comic at the time. The main stars of the series, as this featured a rotating cover stars, were, from what I saw, the main cover stars were Skyman, the Face, this is Dixie Dugan here, Showgirl character. This is the little sidekick from Sparky Watts, who was another popular character in the series, and Joe Palooka, who, if you're a Three Stooges fan, you should know that was why Shemp wasn't in the original Three Stooges, is because he got he was starring as Joe Palooka's manager in the Joe Palooka movie series at one point in time. But this opens with like 3 one-shot comics of Joe Palooka's life in the army. He starts as a boxer, but most of these comics are just like little one-shot gag comics. They're okay, but if I explain to them, they'd ruin the plots. So, but we start with our main thing with Skyman. His uncle basically is the one who invents the gadgets for him, and this army group is apparently... Social Services, I guess, is mad that the nephew isn't in the army. Yeah, it's, they're just all there and they're talking. Basically, they're sending England to war, yet they're doing nothing. Too many generals and other soldiers, apparently. And Skyman is attesting what is basically a wingsuit. And this is 1944, so that's pretty, advanced thinking. And these, crooks are after this judge who put one of them away. Skyman manages to capture a couple of them, but some of them are still after the judge. Skyman manages to capture all of them before they do anything. And of course the big joke is the guy who wants to draft, the nephew, realizes that he's probably doing better work here than he is out in the military field having to deal with those chemicals. Then we get Sparky Watts, who's another gag character. Sparky Watts, our main character here, is basically kind of a comedy hero. Sparky Watts here is the blonde with the glasses, and what he has is, okay, I kid you not, he's super intelligent and apparently has cosmic level strength. Yeah, apparently he has this like cosmic super strength. His friend sends this picture off to a dating service. A little Chinese guy is a comedy character. Yeah, it's offensive, but in the same comic as Charlie Chan, and he's drawn regularly, so. Basically, the whole local baseball team is 4F and old timers, and it's up to Sparky Watts to save the day in the subplot. And he does. But it turns out that his friend who sent this paper into the dating thing, well, trouble rears its ugly head. But thanks to their friend the inventor, he's able to convince the guy whose picture it was to marry the girl. Only turns out the girl is a schemer, and things don't go exactly as he planned. Comedy ending. And we've got Charlie Chan, and this is where I figured out that some of the stories are serialized from week to week, or from month to month. So, Apparently, Charlie Chan and his friend are trying to stop this mad bomber, I guess. It was 1904, so Charlie Chan was a really big thing. As he already had a popular movie series at the time. Later on, he would go on to have his own cartoon, I think done by Hanna-Barbera. So, this was probably around the same time as like Mr. Moto and other characters. I think Fred Allen had his Pylon Pan character that he did as well on the radio. So, Chinese detectives were very big at this time. Yeah, and it's continued in the next issue, which would have been issue 51. Then we get The Cats Were Hip by Roy Frank, which is a text story. Now, this is interesting in all the wrong ways. It's a text story told from a pilot's point of view. Now, this is an American pilot, so it's talking about the Japanese. Refers to them as nips or niseis, which would have been slang at the time. And he tells the entire story in what at his time would have been slang. Frankly, it gave me a headache to read. You can read all this comic for yourself on goldenagecomics.org. It should be in the Big Shot Comics section. Ugh. I want you to read the text story. You may need to take it slow because it takes a while to read. You can understand it, sure enough, but the slang, oh boy. He literally tells the whole story in slang, and he does break down some things for his commissioner, but oh boy. It's not a quick read by any means of the thing. It took me a while to break it down. Okay, next we have Captain Yank. This is another serialized story. It's an action-adventure story. The guy with him is Chinese. She might be Korean, I'm not sure. So you have a lot of positive depiction of Chinese in this comic, which I'm actually really enjoying. And we got one comic Chinese character and a bunch of serious Chinese characters and the Russians. Anyways, Captain Yank has basically got to find the bad guy, get them in time, and get them the information to the Russian guerrilla, the Russian soldiers. Typical stuff. Okay, Dixie Dugan. Now, she was a popular character. She had a novel series, which you can still actually get. It was is still in print. You can actually get all 3 novels in like a bundle. She was a showgirl character who lived with their elderly parents. In the previous issue, it was announced that Mickey is engaged to Bud Hell. So Mickey and his gal are going to get married, and then later on somebody gets a letter that they may not get married. So all throughout this comic, there's this possibility of threat that someone may try and stop this marriage. Of course, eventually we find out someone does stop the marriage, and it's Uncle Sam as Mickey gets drafted. This was World War II, so draft was still in effect. And then the next one is the Hollywood husband. His wife's in pictures. You know, the husband wakes up early, tries to make breakfast. We got this guy muscling in. This guy ends up eating his breakfast. You know, he makes breakfast for his wife and daughter and all this stuff, but his wife can eat it, and all this stuff goes on. And then we got Victor Jordan. Who's kind of a soldier / spy in his various adventures. It's okay. Kind of an espionage type thing. He's trapped in this house. The girl betrays her father, gets shot, betrays him, being a loyal German, all this stuff. World War II propaganda stuff. And then we go to Bo. So this is a dog comic, like Marmaduke and stuff. Apparently, this big dog show Bo is the sponsor for, and all this stuff happens, and people are learning to take better care of their dogs. Everyone's happy. It's all working out for the best. And then this guy ends up adopting this puppy, and this poor dog gets car sick. Been there, done that. That happens. If a dog's not used to a car, they can get sick. You need to take time and get used to the car. And of course, the kid knows what to do, but so the wife leaves the dog with the kid to get the dog used to the car, which terrible dog owner. The husband is a good dog person. The wife apparently never wanted a dog. So that sets it up for the next story. And then we get to the face. Though in Project Superpower he's called Mr. Face. Hence why I always call him Mr. Face. And this is the second one who wears the face persona. I call him Sergeant Face. And this actually gives you the origin of the face. Where Tony Trent got apparently he was tortured by some Japanese soldiers. It should be known, this Japanese soldier right here is actually a good Japanese soldier. And saved Tony Trent. As because of his suffering, he's actually flashing back to his origin story. So we get the Face's origin story. But how he got everything and how he was framed for the death of the person in the costume shop. How the Face was framed for that because it was actually the gangsters and everything. So overall, a good comic. I'd give it a 5 out of 5. All things that I think something you really need to read. The serialized stories, I started issue 50. I still understood it pretty well. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. Big Shot Comics. If you want to read this, go to Golden Age Comics. Just search Golden Age Comics. Go to Golden Age Comic Museum. Go to Big Shot Comics issue 50. And you should be able to read it pretty easily. Alright, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you're new. Until next time, this is the American Samurai saying we'll see you next time right here on Bucky749. And until next time, keep your nose in a book and your feet on the ground. And don't forget to check out our series, Golden Age TV. We've got 2 brand new episodes with fan favorite host, Jenny Walton. Yes, she's back, and it's ladies' night.